Okay, so sometimes we really want to make sure we have all the steps in order that we're going to try to use to find the slope-intercept formula of an equation. Now, basically this is telling us that we want to make sure we can find y equals mx plus b so that we can determine what m is and what b is. Alright, now having said that, we're going to look at this from the fairly simple model that's in the book. We're going to go right down to page 102, sorry, that says 103, page 102. This is page 102, your turn. We're going to go with number 2. It's at the bottom of the page. Now, so what they've done for us is they've given us a chart, which means they're looking at a line on a graph. All right, they're looking at a line on a graph, and they said, okay, here's x, here's y, and we're going to fill in the numbers as we go along. Remember, we're looking at it on a graph, so it's not the worst thing that we have to do to determine what the values are where these intersections take place. Okay? Now, the model that they're giving us has x values of 1, 2, 3, and 4. Not painful. I've got extra boxes there. So what? All right? And at x equals 1, we know right now that we're going to look at this graph and we're going to find y is equal to 8. So this point exists. That's all we're saying. All right? Let me fix that a little bit because that doesn't usually get messy than I know it is. Okay? So when we say that, and you know, this is a pretty quick drawing here, but you know, that's how difficult this is. We're looking at a drawing and we're saying that's where our point is. This is 8. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, I'm hoping, right? So then when we go to 2, we're going to say, okay, 2 is at 15. So we go to 2, and notice I'm not using the graph that's here. I want this to look a little bit sloppy because some of yours looks pretty horrible sloppy. So I'm hoping that gives you an opportunity to figure out what's going on. So number 2 is going to be a value of 15 at y. You get what I'm doing here, right? I'm reading the graph and I'm building a chart. Read the graph, build a chart. So then we've got 3, value of 3 for x, and the value of 3 for x is 22. Now, I'm not going to continue this. This is my source document in this case. But if I had to, I could, right? I could continue this. You know how to do that. You know that we're going to try and get a straight line. The last value I'm given for x as y is 29. Alright? And again, we're reviewing the same thing all over again. What we need to do at this point is we need to solve for slope and y-intercept. My opinion here is, given the data that I'm given here, I already know these values. I don't know where x equals 0. Alright? Where x equals 0 is our y-intercept. I'm going to write that on sign here because it's an important thing for us to remember. When x equals 0, that is the y-intercept. It's easy when you know what that is, but we don't know what that is, right? In this vernacular, in this chain of events, we don't have 0. I could guess what 0 is, but I don't know what it is. So what I want to do first is I want to find m. And we know m is equal to y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. Since we know that, we're saying, and I'm going to make this coordinate my y2, x2. Are you with me? Oh. So now I have 15 and I have 2, right? Now I'm going to make this one my second. So it's 8, 1. Do the math, subtract, and we get this is equal to 15 take away 8 is 7. 2 minus 1 is 1. So now I know what I know to be true at this point is y equals 7 times x plus b. I don't know b yet. I don't know what the y-intercept is yet. But what would I plug in here for y and x to solve for b? I'm going to make a suggestion to you. We use this one, we use this one. How about we use this one? Is that possible? Sure. So I'm going to say now, I'm going to use a different color. 22 equals 7 times, what's x? 3, right? 3 plus b. Solve for b. Solve for b. Me solving for b is easy. I'm old hat here. I'm the old guy that's been doing this forever and ever and ever. What I know to be true is that this means 22 equals 21 plus b. B equals 1. So our formula for this projection, now, we're going to put a box right here to write this in. We don't know what y is until we decide what y is. Right? We don't know what x is until we know what x is. But now I have a value for slope, and I have a value for the y-intercept. Seven for slope, and 1 for the y-intercept. Okay? Press on. Do your assignments. Get them done.